Hello kiddos, welcome back to my channel. Okay, what I have prepared for you. Basically today's video is going to be about Britney. There is this news that she just signed a deal for $15 million to tell finally her story in a biography. Maybe next year, I think. We're going to be able to read this story from her own words. For $50 million, I think like any of us would be telling like any story of our lives, even the ones that we're most embarrassed about. So we'll be on those books. Super excited to read it, and with all the things that have been happening lately and the biography that Jamie Lynn put out. And if you haven't heard about it, you can see it now on here on the link. Just click after this video. But today we're not going to be talking about Jamie Lynn. We're going to be centered on Britney, because she actually released books before this one, and kind of like in preparation for what the new book is going to be about, I want to talk with you about what those books were. Okay, well, to start, I was thinking if I should ranking the books in like better to worse or worse to better, or like if I should say like just chronologically, and finally I decided yes, I'm going to do it chronologically, because I think that even if I'm going to tell you, of course, my opinion on these books and if they were good or not, just because I think that the books represent a moment in time that was in her life that was specifically made for a certain type of audience, I think that I'm not going to ranking them in that way, but of course I'm going to let you know my opinions. Okay, the first book that I want to talk with you, it's the first book that she actually wrote. It's called Heart to Heart, and it's a book that she wrote with her mom. The thing about Britney is like in the very beginning of her career, she was talking a lot about her family and how much her mom influenced her and how supportive she was. Of course, that was like something that has changed over the years, but I think that in this book, it was sort of like a time capsule on like what she was going on during this time. It's actually like super cute, and it's written in a very easy to read style. It also contains a lot of pictures, as you would see growing up, like this very disturbing picture with kissing her mom. Why in the lips? Why on the lips?
Every time on the lips. Why? Why on the lips?
As I say, the book is kind of like a biography from, not kind of, it's a biography from her early years. This book was released in 2000, and the thing about the 2000s is that we have to acknowledge that there was no internet, or it was just like starting to happen. So this type of book was a window to what her early years were, and also sort of inspiration for a lot of people that wanted to start doing something artistic. And I think that is the purpose of the book. It's not to be meant to be a classic or something that you're going to admire the writing style, but mostly about, as I say, a time capsule on that moment in her life. I don't think that I think it's a necessary reading for any Britney fan. It's actually very sad from some parts of the book that you acknowledge the difference and the contrast that has been these early years of her life with what happened afterwards. So yeah, it's very sad because they seem that they were very close. I don't know, it was because maybe the mother had a little bit more influence on writing it. They seem very happy, and that's actually sad to know nowadays. All those years, the early 2000s, were very defined because the artists were releasing albums every year. So on 2001, she released her second album, that was Upside It Again, and in preparation for that album, it was actually released her second book. That was her first and only novel, A Madas Gift. I found out that they made actually a movie about this book. I read this one super quickly, not only because it's short, but because the font is so big. It's massive, so it doesn't take you very long, and it's only, I think, 200 pages. Yeah, 225 pages. And as we can see, it was like part of the promotion of her new album it was going to be Upside It Again. Well, I have to say, it's a very cute book, but there's no character development. The plot is very, very light. And I think the best way to describe this book, it would be like a Hallmark movie that you watch on a Sunday. But at the same time, it's very lighthearted, and you know that it's going to leave you with a very happy aftertaste. It tells the story of Holly. Holly is a girl that is on her teenage years. She lives with her mom. Holly Faye Lovell, short and sing. Everyone in Biscayne, Mississippi knows that. And when, at 14, she becomes the youngest student ever to win a full scholarship to the prestigious Harvard School of Music, her dream of pursuing a singing career is on its way. But for the first time in her life, Holly must leave behind her mother, Wanda. So as we can see, it's literally one of those books that is going to have a message to believe in yourself, believe in your dream, believe in your talent, support your family. The most important thing is like we have to consider the time when this was written, and the audience of Britney was mostly little kids. If I give now this book to my niece, my 12-year-old niece, she probably would say like, what is this? Because she doesn't speak English. And actually, like, really, to be honest, if she speaks English and if I give her this book, I think she will find it like very light-hearted and very enjoyable. It will be like a little bit longer because there's no character development and everything seems like it happened in 1 week. So yeah, there's no changes between how the characters were in the beginning and when it ends. I think it doesn't represent the potential that she has as a writer. Probably her mom has more to do with the development of these books, but it's very enjoyable. It's literally the book version of a Hallmark movie that you will pick up on a Sunday just like to lift up your mood. Was before the release of the movie Crossroads.
Let's go, girls.
It's basically like a diary of the behind the scenes of what the movie Crossroads was for her. It was her first and only movie. So the whole experience of her going to the set and filming, knowing the actors, learning the scenes, waking up early, and like how did that get along with her and what she was gaining from that experience is very complimentary, and it could have been like something that comes with the movie. As I was saying, the other one feels like a Hallmark movie, but this one feels as a DVD extra. It was only 2002, so it's only 20 years ago. It was a long time ago, but it wasn't that long. The perspective that she has for her life was really innocent. That was one of the things that affected her career later on. You can tell she was like very naive and very innocent on the way that she sees her life, and that could be maybe like one of the reasons why it was so easy maybe for the family to manipulate her. They were so part of everything that she was doing. But yeah, as a description of the moment, I think that it's cute. Of course, it's only like an unnecessary read if you're a Britney fan. And then the last one was this one. It's called Stages, and well, the thing about this book, it's mostly pictures. It was coming as part of a documentary that she released that was 3 days in Mexico. But it doesn't have that much writing, it's mostly pictures, and it has a description of like how her roles were in her life as a sister, as a daughter, as a best friend. It's like little letters from all these people that were part of her life. From all these moments, this was like 2002. In these last 20 years, things has changed so drastically for her and the way that she perceives life that I think that's why we all consider that it's so necessary to hear from her own words. It can be like an amazing book. We're all going to be waiting for it, especially by us. I talk about the Britney fans. So yeah, here it ends the video of today. Thank you so much for watching me, and I'll see you next week with a new video. Bye bye.